Hi guys, it is really like heated up outside today. Wow, been a long day. I'm down here trying to survive in these streets. But I'm gonna get right into it. I am going to talk about when to say no. Yeah, I know that is a touchy subject. For me, saying no is a very hard thing to do because I feel like my job is to help people, give support, do the best I can, lift a helping hand. And sometimes being that yes person ends up coming back to bite you because when it's that time when you just absolutely can't do it, or you feel like it's pulling too much out of you to be that person, and then you're looked at sideways like, oh my god, like, are you're not doing it? Like, you're like expected to do something all the time. So I think I really started using no maybe about 4 or 5 years ago when I started being empowered, but just saying no, like using my voice and stop feeling obligated to always say yes. And especially as a mom growing up, my kids, you get your kids and they expect, and you have to put on that tough hat and say, no, no, you have to earn it. The answer can't always be yes, because if you're always saying yes, then that's a good way to ruin the child, because then you can never tell them no. And that could be the same with other situations, you know. Um, I have learned to have like a hard no instead of a no. Um, Even in like in education, especially like working with children, they like to play like, especially adults, against each other. They'll come up to you and ask you something, and then um, you'll say, I don't know. Then they'll go to the next adult and say, ask the same thing, you know, kind of play both ends and stuff like that. And adults do the same thing. They really do. They really do. Um, like, even like in if you have like a spouse or significant other, um, people know who they can go to try to get what they want and what they need. Um, they can go to your significant other and say, look, I can really use a couple dollars. You think you can, loan it to me and help me out until, next week, next month. You know the game people play. And your significant other will be like, nah, I don't have it. I can't do it. Sorry. And they'll come to you and say, oh, wow, yeah, I'm really short on cash. You think you can loan me a couple dollars or whatever? And then you be that person and be like, okay, okay. So I'm just going to talk about, like, when do you say no? When is a good time to say no? That's something that I've been personally working on. When to say no, and just set the boundaries. Set the boundaries. Um, I try to have like a open door policy where you can like talk to me, ask you for something. I don't like saying no, you know, but I'm realizing that me not saying no does open the door to ask for more. And it could be that situation where you just really don't want to, but you feel like you're obligated to do it. Like, should you feel obligated to do anything? Like, when you think about that question, it's like, have you ever been in a situation where, you know, you want to stay out of it and it's hard to stay out of it because somebody pulls you into it, and, because they know that they could get a yes out of you. Yeah, that, I'm so guilty. I'm so guilty. I'm so guilty. Um, I find myself like just having like conversations like with my husband, especially on like things that like affect our family, because it's a partnership. And you know if you're not on the same page, if you're both not saying yes, then like it's like can be a problem. If you're both not saying no, it could be a problem. So um yeah, saying no, saying no, saying no. It's like, even if, as I repeat that out loud, it's like, say no, say no. You know, I had a friend of mine saying, oh, like you can like be a friend with boundaries, and I'm like, wow, I can be a friend with boundaries. I don't have to say yes to everything. But I think it's a part of me. It's a part of me. Um, but I tell you one thing, I do feel empowered when I say no. Because when I say no, like I put a lot behind it. Like, no, mm-mm. No, I'm okay. No, thank you. I'm good. hmm No, the answer is no. And I feel good when I do that, you know? So I'm learning to like practice it more and more and more and more. And just speak up on how I feel, you know? And don't feel pressured to say yes or to agree to everything, because I'm not agreeing to everything. And I'm sure many of you can relate that you may not agree to every situation, and it's okay to use your voice, and it's okay to say no. Um and don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad about it. Um that's your right. How you say that's my prerogative. Okay, it's my prerogative to say no. Um, that leads me to question. So, do you feel like the bad guy when you say no? Do you feel like the bad guy? Guilty. I have felt like the bad guy if I say no. But you shouldn't. And it took growth for me to just understand that I'm not the bad guy because I say no. And it's the same like with like tough love. Like with tough love. Like that's a big, big one. Tough love. Like if you know someone needs to get like their act together, or they're doing something that is not showing growth or not showing maturity, and they come to you, like you have to be that person to say, no, no. Until you do XYZ or show me that you're worthy or capable of handling me saying yes, then it has to be a no. And that can actually strengthen and empower somebody else by you saying no. So, yeah, when to say no. That for me is very thought provoking.